I'm listening to Bob Proctor right now, and I want to put on some music so that way the energy and everything, it could be a certain type of way. Okay. We gonna get into this video about you having the power to change your life. Okay, you have the power to win. And we gonna get into Dr. Joseph Murphy book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. 1 second. Okay, so hey, Miss Harden, peace to you, baby, peace to you, peace to you, peace to you. Um, so I was, it's so funny. I was finna, okay, I was about to take a nap, right? And then I had went on to my YouTube studio, and I seen that I'm very close to being monetized, right? And so that gave me the energy to be like, all right, come on, let's go, let's make a video, okay? And I am extremely excited about that because I have been planting the seeds of positive positive videos for about 6.5 years, 6 years, 6.5 years. And it feels so good to know that the seeds that I have been planting, that oh, it went good. You didn't see the video? I just put up a vlog like probably like a half an hour ago. Hey Ronnie, peace to you, baby, peace to you, peace to you, peace to you. So I'm extremely excited about that, right? About me becoming monetized. And so this is really what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I believe that if I could change my life and if I could do things differently, I know that you can, right? Because only thing it takes is the power of you changing your mindset, okay? And you understanding that there's some laws in this here universe. And you don't need to know, all the laws of the universe. Only thing you need to know is that what you do, if do it feel good to you? Do it feel good, and do you like the results that you are receiving? And one of the things I remember hearing Bob Proctor say, he said, you could be losing and still like the results, right? Um, but for me, awareness is key. And if I see is certain things in my life that I don't like, I know I have the ability to change it. Right? I'm not gonna leave that up to anybody else, because the truth of the matter is no one is coming to save you. Okay. And when you really get that and understand that you was created to win. You was created to be successful. Okay? You was created to enjoy life. You was created to evolve, to grow. You was created to be of inspiration, right? And so I was on a train earlier, and this is what keeps me like always studying. And I said this before, but I'm gonna say this again. I am forever a student of life. I am forever a student of life. Okay. And I used to say life is my professor. So I'm forever a student. I'm forever learning. I'm forever, applying the knowledge. Okay. Because it's one thing to read it. Okay. It's something completely different when you apply it. And I am just so grateful. I'm grateful for the family that I was born into. I'm grateful to know that I'm changing me and my children's lives. I'm grateful for everything that happened in my life, even, when I was a child, the things I experienced. I'm grateful for all of that because it led me to the person that you see today. It led me to seeing what I do want and focusing on what I do want. And not only for me, but mainly for my children, right? And so when I'm showing up and I'm doing the work and I'm being consistent, I never knew by me making these videos. I told you guys, like, I just had, hey, Beyond Smith, peace here, baby, peace here. I just had a download, right, to get people out the matrix. And at times I'm trying to hurry up and pass that part. But I was meditating, and I remember listening to Rapper B.O.B. And he was talking about meditation in the sense where as though it was like, whatever it is that you look and he said whatever it is, that basically that you want to know, you have that innate ability within you. And I was like, and he was like, if you meditate, hey Rebecca, peace here, baby, peace here. He was like, if you just meditate, and I was like, God damn it, I ain't got nothing else to lose. Okay, I done tried every damn thing else. Okay, I went to the psychologist, I went to the therapist, went to all these different things outside my existence, and I said, you know what, I'ma meditate. And I remember I was so eager to change my life that I just said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to meditate. And I didn't even know if I was doing it right. Like when I first started, I didn't even know if I was doing it right or not. But then years later, I remember hearing Dr. Wayne Dyer say, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. And I was like, God damn, where you was at all these years, right? But the journey and the unfoldment of my life up into this part has been, at times a roller coaster, but that's just how life is, right? Is the law of rhythm, and things are never going to be at a even still. It's always going to be up and down. And if it's not for the up and down, then we wouldn't grow. We wouldn't evolve. Okay, we wouldn't build a better character of ourselves, and we wouldn't persist. And also we wouldn't have like a strong sense of faith. Okay, and so looking at my life and all the things that I have done and all the things that I am to do, I'm extremely excited because I too used to say, well, I'm shy, and shy really means like lack of self-esteem. And I didn't know that. I just thought like shy just meant like, oh, you just shy, but that's really what it means. And so what I do is, and I share my journey with you guys because I do know that we attract, right? And the primary law of attraction is law of vibration. And so when I'm sharing my journey and I'm telling you guys about the books and I'm telling you guys about how I meditated, to just stop ruminating my thoughts. And I'm telling you guys, and I still think, okay, I'm still constantly, thinking, the monkey in the mind is always there, right? But it's more so about you becoming an observer. Hey Tracy, peace to you, baby, peace to you, peace to you. I know it would be a matter of time. You would be on here. And so is really about you becoming an observer of your thoughts, And so what I tend to do when my intuition is telling me to do something, first of all, I listen to my intuition, right? That's one. You have to be able to listen to your intuition. Oftentimes we looking for other people to tell us certain things or looking outside ourselves, but when you listen to your intuition, and I said this last night, Your intuition is never gonna leave you astray. That gut feeling, it is always going to tell you exactly what's best for you. And so when my intuition told me, and this is generally how it works. My intuition earlier said for me to go to Hoboken. If you guys not from New Jersey, it's like 2 towns over. Okay. So at first I was like, what? Like why? Like, why? And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna be obedient, and I'm just gonna do it. And so what wound up happening was, um, I made a video, and that's how I release energy. Like I release the emotions, right? So whenever I feel a certain type of way, I release the emotions by doing videos. And so I was like, my intuition told me to go here. I don't know why, but I'ma go, right? And so after that, I did a smoothie, and I just wanted to get the challenge over. I did a live video on here, and I was doing the smoothie, and I was like, you know what, I gotta go. I gotta challenge myself. My intuition told me to do it. Whatever. I appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up. Okay, I appreciate it. Um, and so from there, I got dressed, and I was, feeling a certain type of way. But after I did the video, I seen like, this not as bad, right? Because that's the thing. So when you keep those emotions bottled up in you, it causes disease, right? And we know everything, it manifests on the spiritual realm, and then it manifests into the physical. So when you feel anxious, or nervous, or whatever it is like that, um it's best to express, because if you don't express, it turns into depressed. Okay. And so I didn't know, from me just having that download to make videos, it was going to, change my life in a sense, where as though it's like me getting really out of my comfort zone. Sometimes we think, well, I'm making the videos, I'm doing the videos for, other people. But the truth of the matter is, you're doing the videos for yourself, because before you can inspire anybody, you first inspire yourself, right? And so I got dressed and everything like that. And I remember I was in my closet. So this is what I do, okay? I hear successful people talk about how they changed their lives. And I'm going to talk about Bob Proctor until I release this avatar, because I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for Bob Proctor and his work. Um, and I remember he talked about how he used to be shy, and how he had a low self-esteem about himself, and how he pretty much didn't like himself, right? And here Bob Proctor was a part of The Secret, right? And I just found out that The Secret, it was created from uh The Science of Getting Rich, from Wallace Wallace, right? And so it just is so fascinating how success leaves clues. But Bob Proctor, he was saying how he didn't care for himself. He always wanted to be around people, always wanted to have people over and stuff like that. He said, because the truth of the matter is, he really didn't like being by himself, because he didn't like himself. And I remember he talked about Dr. Joseph Murphy book, right? The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And I have read this book 4 times. Okay. This like my fourth time reading it. And when I was getting ready today, I thought about like which book I could take, right? Hey Monica, peace to you, baby, peace to you, peace to you. And I was thinking about like, damn, what book I could take to accompany me, right? While I'm on the train. Because when I'm on the train, I read. Sometimes I have my headphones on, but majority of the time I take my headphones off, and I'm reading. And so I'm on the train, And I mean, so I go in my closet and I'm like, it's a book. Like, I remember, it's a book that used to accompany me when I felt a little nervous or I had like felt a little scared, right? And I don't know how I forgot about this book. Okay, Dr. Joseph, this is my favorite book. This and The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power by Vernon Howard. And I was like, oh, the power of the subconscious mind. Okay, by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Let me grab that. And when I got on the train, as I was walking to the train, I felt like, I felt better. I was listening to Bob Proctor, Paradigm Shift. And as I'm walking, I'm like, all right, this ain't bad, okay? This ain't nothing hardly, right? And from me being obedient, and once I got on the train, so I pulled out the book and I'm reading it. And I'm gonna share a few because I was reading it. I was so excited, I just wanted to scream while I was outside because the book, it was so good. And it was a guy that was sitting next to me, like when I was coming from Hoboken. I was sitting like on a bench to catch the train, and it was a guy sitting next to me, and I kept making all these noises because the book is so good. And I know, like, I don't know, but I was looking over to see if the train was coming, and then I look at him, right? And he was just sitting there and stuff. And I was like, dang, I just want to tell somebody about this book, right? And it's really, really a really good read. As you can see, I done highlighted, done wrote in the book, okay? Let me see. It was a part that I had, dang. No, it's not that one. Well, I guess I could read this one, but it's really not that one. Is All right, let's see. Have you accepted any of these? That's not it. All right, so the power of the subconscious mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay, it says your thought, idea, plan, or purpose is as real on its own plane as your hand or your heart. And following the biblical technique, you completely eliminate from your mind all consideration of conditions, circumstances, or anything which might imply adverse contingencies. You are planting a seed concept in the mind, which if you leave it undisturbed, it will infallibly germinate into external fruitation. The prime condition which Jesus insisted upon was faith. When I was reading about the faith, okay, was faith over and over again. You read in the Bible, according to your faith, is it done unto you. If you plant certain types of seeds in the ground, you have faith, they will grow after their kind. This is the way of seeds and trusting the laws. Remember, I keep saying there is laws in this here universe, and it doesn't matter if you cry. It doesn't matter if you beg. It doesn't matter if you get on your knees and whatever. The truth of the matter is laws in this here universe, right? And it says, this is the way of seeds and trust in the laws of growth and agriculture. You know that the seeds will come forth after their kind. Faith, as mentioned in the Bible, is a way of thinking, okay? An attitude of mind, okay? And when we think, right, some people may say, well, everybody think. Wait. So some people say, right, like everybody think. And I remember I was listening to Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret, and I also was listening to Bob Proctor. And one of the things Bob Proctor said was, he said, Earl Nightingale said, we don't all think. And he said, if people was actually thinking, they would never do some of the things that they do, right? They would never say some of the things that they say. I remember I had a good friend that I used to work with at a hardware store, okay? And man, it was so close. And whenever I would go through stuff pertaining to, with God's or whatever it was, I would go to him for advice. And I remember every time I would ask him a question, he would just pause. Like he wouldn't say nothing. And I would be like, his name was Pete. And I would be like, Pete, damn, like, what it is, okay? Like what I should do, right? And he would be like, I gotta think. Before I give you the advice, I gotta think about it. And I like reading that book, it put me in the mind of what he always used to say he had to think. And when I say that, people don't necessarily think, because if you was thinking, you wouldn't do some of the things that you do. Remember that the primary law of attraction is law of vibration, right? And from you thinking and you vibing at a certain frequency or whatever it is, that's why you're attracting what you attract. So if each and every day you wake up the same exact way, you do the same exact thing, right? It's like clockwork. And if you don't change that, it's gonna stay the same. Your life, you could predict it. You could predict a few months from now. You could predict a year from now. Your life is going to stay the same, because if you focusing on, you don't have, like, this is what I noticed even in my life, right? It was once upon a time I would look at my numbers, and like on YouTube and on Facebook too, and on TikTok too. But what I started noticing recently, like I've been so busy posting and doing the work, reading and not watching television, that I don't even have time to like I see the numbers, but my whole idea, my whole mindset is just based on me being monetized. My whole mindset is based on the content that I'm putting out. My whole mindset is based upon looking at my children and saying, like, mommy finna change our lives. Like, that's my whole mindset. And so I don't have time, to look at and see, like, oh, like if I see the numbers, like, or whatever, like I'm so focused on my goals and accomplishing them that it's like, you know what, let me make the content. But my intuition speaks to me to make certain content and to put, certain videos. And, I hear something and it's like, all right, well, do a video about that. And in order for you to do a video on it, you have to do the challenge. You have to accept the challenge. And so when I accept the challenge, then I'm led to something else. Like earlier today, when my intuition told me to go, to Hoboken. And when I, like, my whole idea was like, why? Like, I just don't see the significance of it. And from me being obedient, what I noticed was once I got to, the destination, the place, like I felt so confident, because it was like I listened, I was obedient. right? And I took the challenge, right? I chose to take the challenge, and I took the challenge. And when I got to Hoboken, I was walking like so confident. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me a damn thing, okay? But because I listened, and from me listening and reading, right, reading a book and applying the knowledge, it let me know, oh, you good, right? It puts me back in a mindset. You good, like you protected, you love, you got this. Okay, let's go. And that's how, like, I started walking from me being there in the town in Hoboken. Next minute I know, like, my intuition had told me to go to Sephora. And Sephora, the makeup place, okay? Because if you like your accent, like what? Right? Sephora. Um, so my intuition said go next to Sephora. And I thought Sephora was closed because last time me and my oldest daughter went to Sephora in Hoboken, they was closed. But it was the time that I went, right, today. The time that I went, they was open. And so because I did the challenge, when I get into Sephora, I'm with it. I'm like confident. You can't tell me I'm not a multimillionaire when I walk up in here. Okay? This is the energy. And so I get in here, and the young lady who is phenomenal. She was talking to, I guess, like her manager or something, and I was like, could you show me where's the lip gloss is? Because I used to spend a good little penny at Sephora. And she had, showed me where the lip glosses were, but the one she showed me, I was like, no, it's not this one, And then she was like, oh, they changed the. I said maybe they changed. She said, oh yeah, because they've been doing a lot of changes lately, whatever. And from that, right? Remember what I said. Your intuition is going to tell you to do one thing, and when you do that thing and you follow it, right? The next time is going to tell you, it'll be like another hint. It puts me in a mind of it puts me in a mind of, I don't want to say like a maze, but it puts me in a mind of like, oh, I do that and then I get the next thing, right? That's how my life seems anyway. And so I'm in after I left Sephora, okay, I was like pumped up. At this point, I'm like, I'm pumped up, okay? I'm not. At first, I was like, oh, after I go come from Sephora, I'm just gonna catch the train and go back home. Nope. Then I got another idea because my youngest children had called me when I was home, and I said, oh, I could go to Trader Joe's, okay? I walked, I don't know how many blocks. Okay, I know it was a long damn walk. Okay, my phone died. Okay, but that didn't matter because I already did the challenge, which boosted my self confidence. I was already reading a book on the train, which was boosting it even more. And then I was listening to Bob Proctor. So that's like my armor, right? And me doing a video, right? I seen, it was a DJ that was across the street from Sephora. And I was like, oh shoot, let me go across the street. Let me see what they got going on over there, right? And it's like this new place in Hoboken, New Jersey. It's like a nut place. I guess they got like all different types of nuts and stuff. And from there, I just was like on go mode. Like, and so when I share this with you guys, I share it from a place of love. I share it from a place of, I want you to succeed. I share it from a place of, you have the ability to change your life. I share it from a place of, if I can do it, I know you can do it. Like, it's something in you that is so magnificent if you just listen to it. Your intuition is never going to lead you astray. Is always going to tell you exactly what it is that you need to do. and if you just trust it. And I know, right? Like I know we have been conditioned to not trust it, to not listen to it. We've been conditioned because as a kid, right, you may have said something to whoever may have raised you, your guardian, the adults, and they may have said, no, that ain't true. Like for I'm gonna give you guys an example. Me and my two youngest children, we had went to the beach probably like 2 years ago. This had happened, and I noticed my youngest daughter, she kept getting in the water, right? And I was just like pretty much like back, not in the water, on the sand. And she just kept getting in the water, right? And I was like kind of nervous for her because I said she don't know how to swim like that. Like she don't know how to swim, so so I kept calling her, and it was a guy that was, that was in front of me. He kept looking back because I was like, Amani, right? Like all hysterical. I guess he was like, what the, like. And I kept calling her, and she just kept going in the water, like enjoying herself, right? And I noticed, like after she did it, was going in the water, and then I said, you know what, I'm going in the water, right? I'm going in the water. Then my youngest son, he started going in the water, but then I noticed my youngest daughter, she got out of the water, like she wasn't going in the water no more. So I was like, kind of like, why she ain't going in the water no more? So when I started going in the water, she was like, "It's sharks in there," and I was like, "No, it's not." And she was like, "No, it's sharks in there." And I just was like, "No, it's not." I just was telling her, like, denying her what she's seen, and I said, "No, it's not." And she was like, "I'm telling you, is sharks in there." And I was like, all right. But what was crazy, before she said it was sharks in there, when I was going in the water, like so smart, so intelligent. Like our kids are really, really intelligent. And sometimes us as parents, we'll say, no, that's not true, or no, you didn't do that, right? I'm not saying all of us do it, but I know I have done it. And before my youngest daughter said the sharks was in here, when I got in the water, she was saying, I gotta go to the bathroom, right? Like letting me know. And I'm just like, and once I got out of the water, she'd say, we'd be walking towards the bathroom, and she'd say, no, I ain't gotta go. And I'd be like, Amani, why would you tell me you gotta go and you don't have to go? And then when I get back in the water, she'd say the same thing. And so what wound up happening, and this is kind of sad, but like it took somebody that I didn't know to tell me, as opposed to listening to my own damn daughter, right? And because it was a lady who was hysterical like me, right? And she was telling her, it looked like her teenage niece and daughter something, and she was like, "Get out the water, get out!" And I was looking like, and so I went over to her. I said, "What's going on?" Right, being nosy. I said, "What's going on?" Well, being curious, and she said, "It's sharks in here." And I said, "It's sharks in here, right?" Here I didn't even listen. And she said, "Yeah, it's sharks in here." And I said, "Where?" And she said, "Over there." And she pointed to them. And it was like 3 sharks in there. And so afterwards, right, I apologized to my daughter. I said, when you see something, you really seen it. I didn't see it. So I said it wasn't there, but you seen it, and go based upon what you see, right? And from that point on, it lets me know, like, your children, when they say stuff, is for you to listen to, it's for you to be observant of what they saying. And that's like you know where it starts from, right? Like childhood, when you like, no, but I don't have a good feeling about this person, and then your parents like, no, that person, that's our friend, he's a family friend, or she's a family friend, and all these different things. And I'm gonna tell you guys this other story, then I gotta go. It was I believe it was on Facebook or something, and this couple, they had a dog. Some of you guys probably heard this story. They had a dog, right? And the dog, the couple had a dog and they also had a newborn baby, right? And they had this lady who was, she was like a, I don't know if she was the babysitter or whatever, but I believe she was working for the family, right? And the dog, every night he would go in that room, right? And he would be barking like where the newborn baby was. And the family just would be like, why is he barking? Like, what's going on with him? Right? They thought something was going on with the dog because they was like, why he go in the, in a baby room every night and he's just barking. And so the lady who was working for the family, the next day she was saying like something's wrong with the dog. She was saying like she believed that the dog was obsessed with the baby like crazy, right? Come to find out, the couple had planted a camera in the room, right? In a newborn baby room. And they had seen the lady who was working for them, like she would come in the middle of the night and be lurking, like looking in the baby's room. I guess like, it's not the positive story, but I guess to take the baby. And the couple seen it, whatever, they reported it to the police, and then come to find out that that lady, she had did like cruel stuff to other babies or whatever. And I know it's not the best because I'm always sharing positivity, but the reason I say that is, our intuition is always letting us know when something is off, or something around us is letting us know something is off. And it's for you to tune in with yourself and listen to that. Like if you go to a restaurant and the people at the restaurant, they seem a certain type of way, don't question it. Just get up and leave. Like if it feels off, the energy feels off, just get up and leave. Don't stay there. Because that means that they're not in harmony with you. And then sometimes you will say, but I don't know why I feel this way, but I'm just gonna stay there. And then next minute, you got goddamn food poisoning or something. Now, something is going wrong with you, right? But it's for you to trust that intuition. It's really for you to trust it and not to second guess it, not to not to say, oh well, I need more evidence. Honey, by the time you get all the evidence put together, shit, that may be too late. So whenever it speaks, or whenever you have this weary feeling that you probably perhaps can't even put into words, is for you to say, you know what? I'm going to listen to it, okay? And I'm going to be obedient because I know it's never going to lead me astray. Your intuition is your best friend. Is your best friend, okay? And the more you listen to it, the louder it gets, right? The more you feel like, oh, well, I'm not going to listen to it. And I said this time and time again, your intuition is like that friend. You have a friend, you always talking to your friend. She comes to you for advice. And every time you tell her stuff, she just don't listen, right? You could tell. And then she'll come back to you and say, you know what you said? It came out. It was right. It was true. And you like, I know. I tried to tell you about him, but you ain't want to listen, right? It's like that. And then every time, you then she come to you the next time and tell, oh, and you like, I told you about the last guy. And I'm telling you about this guy. And she just don't want to listen. And so she get the same exact thing that happened. And why you know that, or how you could predict that, because it happened to you. Okay, we all have psychic abilities. Okay, you just take what done happened to you, and you could predict the goddamn future. You could predict it because you like, oh, that happened to me, so I'm gonna tell you X, Y, and Z, right? And so that's really what it is. Okay, so with that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for showing up, for being here. I'm so excited. I'm almost monetized. Ooh, it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling. Keep rocking out. Keep believing in yourselves. The truth of the matter is, you have what it takes to change your life, and it just takes a decision. You know, I remember hearing Kevin Trudeau say success is a decision away. It's from the people who say, you know, well, I'm going to do this, but I do it tomorrow, right? No, do it today. Do it today. I'm going to do that, but, you know, maybe I'll do it, you know, next week sometime. Do it today, okay? And so, with that being said, peace to you, Christina. I appreciate you. With that being said, make sure you guys are rocking out. Keep on going. Keep on growing. And from me sharing my experience to you, do understand that it's something within you too. It's something within you, whether it's making content, whether is whatever it is, you making art, okay, Tracy, who make art and content, okay, whether it is you feeling like, you know, just you being the best parent that you can be, or whatever that is, you know, that is calling you. I appreciate you, Miss Harden. Whatever it is that is calling you to do the thing that you was created to do, tap into it, rock out to it. You don't need all the answers. When I first got started, I didn't have all the answers. I just had one. And that one, from my intuition telling me to make the videos, I just took that and ran with it. So the truth of the matter is, you don't need a whole bunch, right? You don't need a whole bunch, and you don't have to be perfect. Okay, there's not a such thing as perfect. And is a lady that I was watching. I think her name is Dr. Sonja or something like that. And one of the things she said all the people that she know that are what is it? Profession. Like always want to be perfect. I can't think of the name. But she said all those people she know, they broke. So, you know, you ain't gotta have it all together. You learn as you go. It ain't gotta be all perfect. No. That's an illusion. And it's never going to feel like the right time. Never. So you can say, well, I'm going to do it at the right time. I'm gonna start it, you know, when things in my life get better. When I'm challenging myself, what I remember is this. All right, Dina, you know, you are entering into another part, like a different part of yourself, right? Like you this new version. I can't even. I'm looking at the word. I'm like, and listen. I'm earlier. I was tired, right? But now I'm excited because then I seen those numbers, right? And now I'm looking at the word and I'm like, but anywho, but is I remember my intuition like, listen, you entering into a different part of your life, right? And you still have to show up, right? Because this is a part of who you are. So you still, this is like what you desired for. So you still have to show up. Like life still goes on, Dina. All right. So you still show up and you still do the work, and you know, but one of the things that and I can see it now. One of the things for me, what it was is I'm more so um like a quiet person, right? You probably can't tell because from me doing the videos, um, perfectionist. I'm still like, right? But I'm more so a quiet person, and that's one of the things that you know I start thinking about, like me doing videos and people coming up to me and you know recognizing me. Like how would I handle that, you know? That's one of the things that at times it would it would make me feel some type of way. But it's so funny because every time that I seen like my Facebook family, you know, from me doing videos, it never was the experience that I thought it would be. Like like about 3 times, or maybe 4. I don't know, but it was like a few times, right? And I remember I did a video on this earlier. It was a lady who she's like she do crossing guard like by my children's school, and her I think her grandkids go to the same school. And one day I was, dropping my children off to school and I was walking, and she was like, hey, she was like, what you put in your hair? Like and looking at it now, like, oh, it only made sense. And she was like, what you put in your hair? And I was like, she was like, hey, what you use for your hair? And I think she said, hey, how you doing? What you put in your hair? And I was like, oh, I use Design Essential, right? And she was like, oh, okay. And I, went on my phone because I'm always looking for ways to, if I could give, like I'm for it, right? Like if I could share just one thing that's gonna change your life, like I'm for it. And she was like, so I'm going through my phone and I'm looking up the pictures for Designer Sent You the hair product, and I show it to her and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, okay, thank you. So I said, well, let me know how it works out for you, the products. And I'm just looking at it like, from if when I see you again, picking my children up from school, let me know then. And she was like, I will. She was like, I watch you. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I watch her videos on Facebook. And I was like, why you ain't say nothing? Like that's how I felt like. And I did a video and I was like, why she ain't say nothing? So it's never what the mind is gonna tell you, oh, it's gonna be like this, and it's gonna be, a certain type of way, and it don't be nothing like that. Then I seen another lady, who, when I was walking, I was going to meet my daughter, um to the light rail train station, and she said, she said my name, and I was, looking because I ain't see nobody that looked familiar to me, right? And and earlier when I did the video when I was making the smoothie, I was thinking like, how did Miana start talking? But she said my name, and I was like, hey, and she was like, Dina, I want you. And I was like, oh, I was like, hey, what's up? We just had a dialogue and stuff like that. And she was telling me, like, has she stopped smoking cigarettes? And, so it feels so good to meet you guys, But that was one of the things that I was thinking about, like, how would I handle that? Like, you know, when people when they know who I am, in a sense where as though like recognize me from the videos and stuff like that. And it's like the African proverbs say, no enemy within, no enemy outside you. And is like, because I don't want you guys like to, because I'm quiet, right? And this is what you have to notice. I remember I was listening to Zig Ziglar, and he was saying, before his seminar, it was these women that was at his seminar, and I think he was like, no, not trying to get my autograph. And I don't like that. Like I don't look at, even when I'm doing these videos and people say like I'm such a huge fan. Like I get what you're saying, but the only fan you should be is the fan of yourself. right? And I appreciate you guys. Um, but I don't want you guys to like put me on this pedestal, right? Like I don't want to be placed on a pedestal. Um, and so I remember Zig Ziglar was saying that he was, at the cafeteria, like going to get lunch or something, like before his seminar started, and the women who was there, they was like, oh, I think that they was whispering, and they was like, I think that's him. I think that's Zig Ziglar. And they was like, he sure don't seem, because if you guys are in personal development, Zig Ziglar. I'm quite sure you probably know who Zig Ziglar was. But Zig Ziglar would be all on the floor, like kneeling. He would be so enthusiastic, right? Like when he would be doing his seminars. And so the women, they was like, he sure don't seem like, like the way he be at the seminars. And one of the things Zig Ziglar said was, he said, when, paraphrasing of course, when you in your purpose, right, you don't, time don't exist. That's one. And then two, is almost as if something is like taking over you, right? Um, and so when you and I know, right, taking over you, but it's like you are connecting to like this like infinite intelligence. You could call it what you want, and so when you doing it, it's like something else, right? It's you, of course, because I can see this now. It's you, of course, but it's something that's like, it's this energy that's flowing through you. It's source expressing itself through you. Call it God, call it infinite intelligence, call it whatever. You can't get wet from saying water. Okay. So yeah. So that's really what it is. And so I just want to let you guys know, like the way I'm on here, in person, I'm kind of like I'm quiet, right? And majority of the time, I'm mainly with my children. So yeah. So with that being said, I love you guys. Rock out. Believe in yourself. The truth of the matter is, everything is within. You are able, you are willing, and do understand you can be, do, have. And it just takes a decision. You're just making a decision. Saying, yeah, I'm going to listen to my intuition. Yeah, I'm going to go buy the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do something different. And that's how your life going to change. Because now you planting seeds of focusing on what you want. I don't know how many of you guys, I have said it time and time again. I said, go to Dollar Tree or wherever, go get a notebook and write down what you desire. I don't know how many of you guys did it. Probably none of you guys. I don't know. But why watch other people's lives when you can create such a magnificent life of your own? Like, if I share with you guys, like, oh well, I invested, oh thanks, which pillow? I guess this one, right? This is the only one you can see. I have invested in mastermind classes, all types. I remember I invested into Dean Grazia, and I know I'm probably butchering his name. He's normally with Tony Robbins. I invested into so many. Well, I invested in myself, but I did so many investments because I just wanted to be around the successful people. And whenever they was hosting something, um, Well, that's where it starts from. Um, I'm not. I would. Simple. I would say it's doable. So if I say simple, let me take that back. I mean, is doable, because if I could do it, you could do it. Is just the core, and do you want your life to change? And it could be, like if you hear, for instance, the other day, I was a part of this mastermind group, right? And the lady who was hosting it, she had us read Brian Tracy's book, right? No Excuses. And one of the things Brian Tracy said was to go get a notebook, right? Now I said go get a notebook before, but Brian Tracy, who is a multimillionaire, so if someone that's successful is saying something, right? I don't know about the next person, but I listen to them, right? If they say this is how their life changed and they got the book, I mean, I'm gonna go buy the book, okay? I know some people would say, "You gonna do that every time?" Absolutely, absolutely, because I believe in myself, and so I don't look at money like that. I look at money as energy. I look at money as a tool. I look at, if I buy this book, I'm gonna read the book, but not only am I gonna read the book, I'm gonna apply it, which is then called applied knowledge. And then, right, you will see results. You will see something different in your life, because it's that, just that one step that you did different than what you did yesterday. You get what I'm saying? So if yesterday you was, doing certain things, a certain way, but then today you invest into yourself, into this mastermind class, and first you invested, so that's one, right? But then you taking it a step further, because the mastermind class is reading a book, right? Brian Tracy's book, No Excuses. So then you say, you read the book, and then Brian Tracy says, go get a notebook, right? Go get a new notebook. And so I have the choice to say, well, I got notebooks in my room that I done pre-used, that's damn near done. Or I could go to Dollar Tree and I could get a notebook. It's never about the destination. Is never about, and like, going to get the notebook. Yeah, I need the notebook for the goals, but it's more so about me challenging myself, building a confidence, building the self-esteem up more, even more, and that's what it's really about. So I hope I was able to answer your question, Christina. Um, so yeah, so that's really what it is. You know, is a decision, because some people will listen to stuff and they'll say, "Oh, it sound good," and you see people like that in seminars, right? They go to seminars, personal development seminars, and they say, "Dang, that was really really good," but when they leave, they go back to what they was doing before, prior. And if you do what you was doing prior, right? Because yeah, the seminars is good to be around like-minded people, but then you have to apply it, right? And so what I do is I study every day. I study every day, because that's the only way to, reprogram yourself, is through repetition. And that's how the program started, is with repetition. And in the words of Bruce Lipton, right, who talks about epigenetics, um, you got a tape going on in the subconscious mind already, and you got to put another tape in, right? So it could, so your subconscious mind, it can change, because remember, the subconscious, it doesn't know fantasy from reality, right? The conscious part of the mind, or is the part that knows, that can accept or reject. So one of the things Dr. Joseph Murphy said in his book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, he said, your job is not to worry about the subconscious, right? Your job is to focus on the conscious, because the conscious, anything that gets past the conscious that you accept, right? That's why you do what you do, because now it done got past the conscious, you accepted it, and now it's into the subconscious, and the subconscious is why you do what you do. So the conscious is like the thinking part, and the subconscious is the reaction, right? Cause and effect, right? Um, so yeah. Okay, and that's why, like, when you watching the television, and you may look at it like, oh, but and that's why so many successful people say, I don't watch TV. And for a long time I said, they don't watch TV. And then I would say, but I know content creators that watch TV and that, right? It's all according to you doing what works for you. That's what it really boils down to. You doing what works for you. I'm not saying that I never watch television again, right? That's not what I'm saying. Okay. But for right now, I don't. And that's because, like, I'm mainly focused on me and my children's lives changing. And so instead of me watching somebody else's life, let me change me and my children's lives, and then I could watch y'all. But for now, I'm in the midst of, accomplishing my goals. So I know I said several times I catch you guys, later, or I see you guys on the next video or whatever. I'll be back on here tomorrow morning doing a smoothie routine, and I don't think my intuition is telling me. It feels good when your intuition, when you can hear it, but to me that also means, like, all right, since you could hear it, that means is you know you can hear it, and the more you listen to it, the louder it gets. So you're gonna hear something else, and that's the part, right? Oh, I don't know. Most likely I'll be on here after I take my children to school. So when you see me uploading a lot of shorts, that's normally afterwards. Like, I normally come on here, Tracy. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, Miss Harden, I appreciate you, because look, okay, you be with it when you come on the video, and I so appreciate you so much. So I see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you're having a phenomenal night, day. Do understand your life is going to get better once your perception gets better, and that is something that I live by. All right. So until next time, peace.